Hi everyone, you alright? Me once again. How is everybody? Yeah, what did we do today? Not a lot. Went to Tesco and where else did we go? Went to Whitebirch, went to B&M, had a look at what they had in. Yeah. Well, I've been hearing that the range are taking a few Wilko stores, and I've got to say that, what was it, HMV? HMV tried to get a store, to get some stores, but it didn't happen for them because the major problem with HMV is that it only does music stuff. Yeah, that's why they didn't get anything. I know they do video and games and stuff, and yeah, so it looks like that some of these stores are going to be split up by the factions, shall we say, who are buying stuff. Yeah, so factions of the retail trade. But one of the major things about retail is that it can be a very fickle sector. You can either live by the sword or die by it, and yeah, it's not good. I've been going through the well, I've been seeing stuff by the DWP. They're going to try and trick you into slipping up. Here we go. Did you get that? They'll be out tonight, the boy races. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll most probably hear about what happened tomorrow. Yeah, one of the other big main stories is that Sefton Council have admitted that they cannot afford to maintain their pier. Yeah, they've openly said that they said that they're stretched. Yeah. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. And see if the amount of visitors that they get, because quite a fair few people go to see the pier at Southport, and yeah, they make a day of it. They go into Silcott's Amusements at the bottom where the carousel is. I think that's the only main point that's open of it now, and the boating lake, and the I think there's a railway. Well, it's a narrow gauge railway, and that goes under it. But will they still be allowed to run that? Because it runs under the pier. Yeah, that's very questionable, isn't it? I must admit, Sefton Council has been making a lot of poor decisions. Yeah. There's an old bingo hall on the in the town where you walk down the main shopping area, and there's quite a lot of empty shops when you go in some of the Victorian shopping arcades. Yeah. The major problem Sefton has, it has problems reimagining itself. Like its sister resort down the road, Blackpool. Yeah, they seem to be starting to clean their act up a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens about what they're going to do, if they started on the St. Chad's Hotel or not. The new one. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with that. Yeah. And we'll see how it goes. So how is everybody? Okay, I hope. Well, the DWP are up to their tricks again, trying to trick people into finding jobs. You know, and I've got this funny feeling that the Department of Work and Pensions are going to go after the disabled because it's hanging fruit, as they call it, and to get them into jobs and stuff. But the one major thing that they have against them is that a large amount of employers will basically turn round and say, we don't want them. We just do not want them. And that is the thing that the DWP basically doesn't get the grasp of. Because I've spoken to certain people, especially in Blackburn, some of the employers, they turned round and said, yes, we'll take some, but there are quite a lot we won't take at all. And some of the attitudes of some of the employment, some of the company owners are, they have this thing in their head that, right, they don't know what a reasonable adjustment is, right? And a lot of places that I come across, right, they don't have the facilities for people in wheelchairs, especially if they're in old buildings. And they'll just turn around and say, no, I'm not employing that person. And the employer can basically turn around and say no, because of that public liability as well. That's what they've got to look at as well. The public liability laws. And yeah, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the amount of people on disability benefits and stuff and others, and they're trying to make it like the EU. Some get disability payments, some don't. It's mainly places like Spain and one or two other countries. You have to pay some form of medical insurance. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All this starts in next year to start calling us in. And yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with it all. And we'll see how many employers are going to take such people on. And I've got a funny feeling that disabled people are going to be put into, how can I put it, into, institutional places, shall we say. of which will happen. Yeah. Even some of them might be categorized as mentally ill. Yeah. And in some cases, they'll end up dumped on straight. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with these new proposals. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's going to also test the attitude of employers. And it might wake up some of these job coaches, because they'll be being assessed as well in how many disabled people they get into work. Give them targets to reach. And, let the knife cut up both ways. Yeah. Give them all targets that they have to reach. And if they don't reach those targets, it's one simple thing that they can do. Fire them. If you do not make your target, well, you'll be issued your P45. You lose your pension. So they can make the sanctions for them even more rigorous, shall we say. And that would make them work more harder than what they are doing now. Because one of the things that when I go into one of them places, what are they doing? They're just sitting there at a desk, and they're getting paid for that. They should be paid right on a per person job outcome. If they end up in a job, if their client ends up in a job, that's when they get paid. That's how it should work. They should be paid on the number of people they get into work. And this has to be catalogued. And if they if the client loses their job, they should lose a percentage of their wage. Yeah. That's what I think anyway. Make it a performance thing, and make sure that job coaches have a set target that they have to reach every time, every hour, every minute, every second that they're in work. Simple as that. And that's another thing is that we that we could use. Join a union. Join a union. And if you're in between the age of, say, 16, 17, and you leave school and you have a disability, by law you can stay in education till you're 26. So if you can stay in education till you're 26 and you have certain disabilities, stay in education till 26. Then after that, because if you're in education, right, the government has to pay for that. They have to pay for it. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? Well, I'm going to disappear now, and I'll see you in the next one.